Greetings and welcome to our YouTube channel. You are listening to Reverend and High Priestess Thema Azize Serwa. I am the pioneer and the visionary of the global company, the Womb Sauna, where we are teaching women worldwide how to heal everything. I'm really excited about our conversation today. You'll notice that I'm always trying to put educational and empowerment content on our YouTube channel. Currently, we have over 200 videos that are in our archive to assist you in your personal and professional development, to assist you in having resources for how to know how to take your life, your way of being, your health, and your coin to the next level. So today I want to just give you 5 quick tips for the do-it-yourself vaginal steaming. Many of you who follow me for years know the position of our brand and our company. We were in motion with the work of vaginal steaming long before it was on reality TV, even long before it was popular on the web. And so when I first got introduced to a hip bath at a Korean spa in Atlanta called Jeju's, I remember coming home trying to find something similar, doing some online research, couldn't find anything. And that was a divine setup for me to start pioneering with this work. And so until I was able to really get the blueprint down and start training and certifying others, it started with me, my pot, my herbs, my stools, the different formulations, the different equipment, testing and such that I did on my own. It was me, God, and the pot. And so if you've heard my personal testimony, you know that I worked on myself for 2 years before I ever considered doing anything for anybody else, number one, because I cannot give others what I don't have for myself. And I was diagnosed with PCOS, ovarian disorder. I was told in my 20s that I would never be able to conceive without in vitro fertilization. All of the odds were stacked against my womb, but my womb is a force to reckon with. And she had already decided that she was whole. She was healed and she was fertile. My daughter just turned 3. And I was able to work on myself for 2 years, reverse the symptoms of PCOS in that condition. And I was able to manifest my daughter through this work. By the time I manifested her, I had established the Womb Sauna University. Check it out, the wombsaunauniversity.com, where I began to train and certify womb sauna practitioners in our healing modality. So here's what's happening in our industry. Give you a quick industry snapshot. We are creating an industry standard. So you're going to see a variety of expressions of vaginal steaming. Some people have little contraptions you can put in your toilet, and you can do something similar to a sitz bath type of experience. Some people have these little wooden stools. You'll see all kinds of varieties of vaginal steaming emerging because now it is trendy to experience this. I think it's exciting to see so many people, celebrities from Eve to Tia and Tamara. It was on reality Real Housewives of Atlanta and such. You know, it's exciting to see that people are starting to embrace something that has been an indigenous ancient practice in cultures for centuries and centuries. My perspective on vaginal steaming, the womb sauna method, is not a do-it-yourself method. So I want to be very clear about that at the beginning of this conversation. All of my practitioners are trained to hold space for you in treatment. We don't set a timer, walk away from you, leave you by yourself. This is not, our method of vaginal steaming is not experimental. It is data-based. We have been collecting data for years, and that's how we are able to say that our method of vaginal steaming provides over 25 health benefits in one treatment that are based on the biopsychosocial method of healing. And our practitioners are trained to do a variety of things in a specific order during your treatment. However, for those of you who are just getting your feet wet and you're curious about, this vaginal steaming, and maybe you just want to try something at home, I want to give you some things to consider. Thinking about 5 tips to help you get clear on if this is a valid healing modality for you. Tip number one. What's your motive? What's driving you to want to try this? It could just simply be curiosity. But if your motive is a health condition, you have something going on like fibroids, like endometriosis, like infertility, then I really want you to assess your level of knowledge about not only what is happening in your body, but what you actually know about natural medicine and herbal remedies. Because herbs are still medicine. Matter of fact, if you know anything about herbalism, you know that pharmacology is rooted in plant-based medicine. And then they have evolved and added other things in there. But herbs are medicine. I will never forget the day that a client, and I have a lot of clients who transition from do-it-yourself steaming to actually realizing I'm not getting the results I want. I need support from an expert, and they find a womb sauna practitioner. A lot of those clients will say to me, I just kind of dove into this world. I Googled some herbs that say they have health benefits for the womb. And honestly, I can't even really tell you what my lab work says about my hormonal levels, or my blood work says about X, Y, and Z. There's a learning curve for a lot of people. And so if you're diving into vaginal steaming because you want to address a specific health concern or condition in your body, you really should be honest with yourself if you're an expert or not, and assess your motives. It's a different thing if it's just, hey, I just kind of want to see how my body responds to this, and curiosity. And I started there because there were no teachers, there were no universities, there were no classes to take. And so I had to be spirit-led, and I had to experiment. But if you don't have to do that, then ask yourself, why am I doing that? Why am I taking that route? So assess your motives and your level of knowledge. Now, if you have some knowledge with herbs and working with natural remedies, that's different. If you're on top of your health profile, that's different. And that's tip number 2. Make sure you are current on your health profile. Your body changes every year. Every year. Every week, every day, you're shedding dead skin cells. Your hair is releasing and growing new hair. Like, your body is this beautiful, living, breathing, sentient being. So if 10 years ago you were diagnosed with fibroids through a pelvic ultrasound, and you haven't gotten any diagnostic work done since, and now you're Googling trying to find out what herbs will help fibroids, you really are using outdated information and trying to create a health remedy for yourself. I do not recommend that. The strength of modern medicine is the diagnostic care. That's the strength of modern medicine. Our ancestors, we have mummies with fibroids in them, in tombs that archaeologists have found and pulled out. They didn't have the luxury of technology peeking in and saying, hey, this is the type of fibroid you have. This is the size of it. This is the location of it. This is how it is moving around and interacting with the organs around it. They didn't have those luxuries of being able to find out that their ovaries were full of cysts and their testosterone levels were too hot, right? That's the advantage of modern medicine. I'm not saying that it is all you need. I do advocate for an integrative approach to healthcare, or what billions of women are looking for, the CAM approach to healthcare, which I teach my students about in our practitioner training. And so you want to look at that. When's the last time I got some blood work done? What has my cycles been like lately? What changes am I noticing in my body? Right? And so based on current information, that leads me to tip number 3. Then you choose your remedies. If you have checked in on your motives, your level of knowledge, your current on your health profile, now you can go into being creative and tapping into some of that sacral chakra energy and seeing what you are guided to call in for yourself. Less is more here. If you put together a blend with over 15 herbs and you have an adverse reaction, now you got to try to figure out what out of that 15 caused that reaction. And so less is more when you are just getting started with trying to incorporate this. And you should have doctors that you trust on your self-care team. So don't be afraid to tell them that you are trying different things. Don't be afraid to tell them you have a certified womb sauna practitioner that you're working with for your journey in infertility, and you're doing an integrative approach. And if your doctor is against that, that sounds like somebody who was not in alignment with your value system, and you need to ask yourself, why are they in a position of authority on my self-care team if they are not in alignment with my values? If it's important to you to have an integrative approach, then you want to have people in your self-care team who will support that. So choose your remedy. Start looking at different herbal profiles. Start trying different things. My recommendation would be to start with dried herbs and to keep it simple, maybe 1 or 2, maximum of 3, to just kind of see how your body responds to it. With a lot of herbal remedies, you need a few times of interacting with that herb to really begin to see your body respond. But a lot of my clients do have responses within their first sessions, but we're not just using herbs. There's several different forms of medicine incorporated in the womb sauna vaginal steam experience that my practitioners are trained to facilitate. But yes, you do get to play with Earth's medicine. It's much safer to play with Earth's medicine than it is to play with pharmaceutical medicine. However, it is all still medicine. So it's important that you pay attention to how your body is responding to the different things that you're using as a remedy. When you have a positive result, the way to really know that that result is something that works well in your body is to not just go off of that one occurrence, but continue 3-6 months to give yourself that same formulation, that same remedy, to really see how your body's acclimating to it and responding to it. Because there's all kinds of variables that create certain results in the body. Okay. Tip number 4, check your environment. I'm not going to tell you what kind of equipment and such to use. That's something I reserve for my students. But I will tell you that when it comes to vaginal steaming, you do want something safe because you're dealing with heat, you're dealing with water, you're dealing with delicate tissue. The Yoni is its own ecosystem and environment. So it's important that you are careful. You want to make sure the temperature in the space where you're going to try to administer this is not too cold. Okay, because this is a sweat treatment, it's going to open your pores. You don't want to take your body from an immediate temperature environment to something very, very cold. You want to make sure that you're mindful of that. And I do believe this is sacred work. My students are trained in how to not only administer the service, but what to do to prepare for it, what to do after it. The womb sauna's method of vaginal steaming is a form of energy medicine. So all of my students are trained on what to do with that energy that comes out, the emotions and all of those different things. So check your environment. Make sure the different supplies you're putting together work well for you. Test it out. Try on whatever you're going to wrap around yourself to try to lock in the heat. I don't do just half body wraps, lower body wraps. Even when I was doing the do-it-yourself steam method, when I was creating the blueprint for the womb sauna, I always wrap my entire body to lock in that heat and allow continuity and what was happening with the steam and detoxification. Okay, so definitely check your environment, check the supplies that you're using. I invite you to use whatever aligns with your spiritual practice to set the tone for your experience. My last tip number 5, is to practice. Practice. With any kind of all-natural health remedy, consistency is key. Consistency is key. Depending on what you're doing, what you're using, etc., that will dictate how often, what portions, how much medicine you're receiving. All of those things should come into play as you decide how often you're going to administer this treatment to yourself. All right. So I hope you learned something that was of value to give you some perspective to what it looks like to try do-it-yourself vaginal steaming. As I said at the beginning, I really, really am an advocate of you experiencing the womb sauna's method of vaginal steaming. I will say this to you. Certain wounds that you experience in life, certain trauma, certain pain, requires a witness. One of the things that my clients love about the experience they have with us is that we are able to have a conversation with your subconscious mind that allows you to get to the root of why would my body create this condition? What's happening in my consciousness that my body is being obedient to? So we don't just offer a service. We give you a life-changing experience. And so have fun with the do-it-yourself vaginal steaming. Try it out. Do those things as well. But I promise you there's nothing like a womb sauna experience. It changed my life so much so that I left my cozy corporate job years ago and immediately went into taking this to women all over the world and helping them tap into their power to heal everything. And it is life changing. If you want to hear what people are saying about the womb sauna, just go to our website, thewombsauna.com/testimonials. You will see for yourself that most of the feedback isn't even really about the steam as much as it's about the impact on their lives. There's certain places you can take yourself, yes, and then there are places you cannot. And that's when God will send you an angel wrapped in flesh to come and witness you and hold space for you. Don't deny yourself that trying to be cheap and frugal or trying to be shy or insecure or creating a story that you can't trust other women and such. No. Greater is coming for you. You have asked for a major shift in your life. That's why you're listening to my voice right now. Give yourself what you need. Be in a receiving space. Activate that divine feminine energy and let somebody pour into you the way you do for so many other people and experience the womb sauna. You're welcome to go to our website, look through our practitioner directory and find a certified practitioner in your area, or contact us if you need assistance with that. And women have traveled worldwide to my headquarters to get on what has been affectionately called Tama's pot And so women from the UK, the Caribbean, Africa will have literally flown just to get on Tama's pot. You're welcome to do that if you feel that pull in your spirit. It's completely up to you. You're also invited to take the 5 tips that I gave you and give me feedback in the comment section below about what your experience with vaginal steaming has been and what excites you about it. And if you have specific questions about administering this modality, I invite you to apply for our training program where you can get some in-depth coaching, mentorship, and teaching around this healing modality. We are the leader in our industry space. We are in 9 different countries with our brand, with practitioners all over the world, and we need still more hands on deck. I love you. Peace.